Chapter 4. A Favor. When I saved Samuel Omador's life in London, I thought at the time that I was an idealistic fool for throwing away my chance to marry Teresa. Once I met your mother, Jackie, I knew it was the best thing to ever happen to me. Esme was the love of my life, and I would not trade away a single second of our time together. Letter from Peter Cathay to his daughter. When Leo woke, he was stiff from remaining in the same position all night. The injured woman was still asleep. He would have to give her the bad news once she woke up. She would face the emotional fallout of contradictory emotions, grief and relief. The pain of losing her father warring with the release of responsibility combined with the guilt of feeling relieved. He slipped out of bed and went into the bathroom to freshen up as much as possible. In the kitchen he looked in the refrigerator. Seeing the ingredients were available, he prepared a quiche and put it in the oven to bake. He sat at the table so he could make several phone calls to arrange the Estolian sailboat, promise of deity to be prepped for a transatlantic journey. Jackie might balk at the thought of traveling to Estolia, but when Leo presented the alternatives to her, emphasizing that it was her father's dying wish, she would hopefully agree. His thoughts turned to Estolia and Sebastian. His cousin wasn't settling well into the role of heir apparent. His trials must be a part of the grand design, something that would make perfect sense from a historical perspective. He hoped that his cousin would navigate the difficulties facing him. Otherwise Leo might be forced into the role of keeper and leader of the faith. No, Sebastian had to shape up for the position. Because his father and the king were twins, the transition would be more interesting than usual. The king and keeper were twins only 4 times in 85 generations. In those previous situations, the king's son was always at least a week older than his cousin. Until Leo. He was born a week before his cousin. Because of this unique situation, both his father and uncle felt that Sebastian, as the heir apparent, should give his soul into the keeping of his future spouse before Leo did. Leo would give his soul into the keeping of his future wife the minute deity wished it, the minute it was right for the two of them. He heard Jackie stirring. After a brief knock on her bedroom door, he entered the room. She was weeping. "What is it?" he asked her. "I can't get up," she confessed. Recalling that she was only half-dressed, he asked her, "If I get you a nightgown, will you be able to change into it on your own?" "There's a nightgown in the top drawer." 5 minutes later, she bade him to enter the bedroom. She was wearing a long cotton nightdress. It did not take long for him to help her to her feet and to the bathroom. "I will be right here in the hallway in case you need any help." As he guided her back to her room, she stopped with a jerk. She was looking at the open bedroom door at the other end of the hallway. From where they stood, they could see that the bed was stripped of its bedclothes. She looked up at him. Her brown eyes were overflowing with tears and she said, "He's dead, isn't he?" "I am sorry." He didn't know what else to say. She nodded in acceptance. Her eyes went to the stairs and he could interpret her look. She was thinking of the overdue bills waiting on her father's desk. He began to guide her back to her room. "Your father called in a favor," he said. "He has asked me to take care of you. You and your happiness and future security were his last thoughts. He loved you." Once in her bedroom she got a puzzled expression on her face. "What was your name again?" "Leo Zakarian. Our fathers were great friends. At his request, I have arranged for you to sail to my country with me. You can recuperate during the journey." "My name is Jackie," she said. Her eyes traced back to where the desk was. "I can't leave the country without settling my father's debts. I took the liberty of settling them for you." Her eyes were wide as she looked up at him. "How will I repay you?" "My father owed a debt to yours. I do not know all the details. By the time you have fully recovered we will arrive in Estolia and we will ask my father to tell us the story. I am certain we will work something out that will satisfy everyone involved." He smiled and added, "Please do not let it bother you. It was not a hardship to settle your debts, and it was your father's dying wish." He could see the weariness in her expression. Months of caring for her father, her injuries, and now finding out that he were all taking their toll on her reserves. When you wake up next, we will discuss the future. He picked up the vial of pills Alan left behind and shook 2 out onto the palm of his hand. Take these, Jackie,